And to kick off this WrestleMania, we had the Hardcore Championship match, where the champion Billy Gunn was defending his Hardcore Championship in a triple threat match. The opponents were Al Snow and Hardcore Holly. With the kickoff to WrestleManias or any pay-per-view, you expect it to be a good match, a match that gets the crowd going, ready for the rest of the show. And as much as you expect a hardcore match to have all the creativity, anything could happen, the spots, the good weapon usage, this match didn't do it for me. I didn't feel that this was a good opener. I didn't feel it was a good hardcore match. But in the end, Hardcore Holly captures the Hardcore Championship. For an opener WrestleMania, I was disappointed. After winning a 21-man Battle Royal on Sunday Night Heat, Test and D'Lo then went on to WrestleMania 15 to lose to the Tag Team Champions Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart. I really didn't care. There was nothing going into this match and nothing really coming out of it. But on a side note, I really prefer Sunday Night Heat over the pre-show or kickoff, whatever it's being called now. It was just more enjoyment and more storyline based stuff happening on Sunday Night Heat. And what made this match special on WrestleMania 15 was it was going to be Owen Hart's last WrestleMania, because 2 months later, sadly, that's when Owen Hart had his tragic death. So RIP Owen Hart. Most, if not all, WrestleManias have a gimmick match. This WrestleMania had a brawl where Butterbean knocked Bart Gunn out. And even though I saw that as filler, the things I took away from this match were the special appearances. The referee was the Tasmanian Devil Vinny Pazienza. The judges Kevin Rooney, Chuck Werpen and Godzilla Monsoon, which got the biggest pop I think we've had tonight on this WrestleMania. And that's the match done. And after the match, we have the San Diego Chicken getting knocked out by Vinny, just for some entertainment, I guess. Now on to the bigger matches of the pay-per-view. The first match was between Mankind and Paul White, the Big Show. Both men were fighting to become the special referee for the main event against Rock and Austin. And straight away, I thought no. For a big match at WrestleMania between your top guys in your company, Rock and Austin, you don't really want to throw in a special referee for a first match like this. But the match didn't go to plan, as there was weapon chair usage. Big Show ended up choke slamming Mankind between steel chairs, not actually on them. A little bit of a mix-up botch there. And Vince McMahon goes angry at Big Show, poking him, wiggling his finger, and Big Show ends up knocking him out. Okay, frustrated Big Show gets arrested, Mankind's sent to hospital, and Vince McMahon claims himself to be the special guest referee. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'd like to invite each and every one of you to the Dark House, as Road Dogg Jesse James retained his Intercontinental Championship against Val Venus, Ken Shamrock, and Goldust. This was a pretty good elimination match. The crowd definitely seemed to like Jesse James, Road Dogg, as he continues his Intercontinental run. And I'm all for Road Dogg retaining here. He was a good, entertaining champion, a good performer in this category, and even though the match weren't brilliant, a good winner in my opinion. The WWF were doing a great job at making Kane this ferocious, scary monster. But there was this one guy that either really didn't like Kane or was trying to do what he could to impress Kane. And that was none other than the San Diego Chicken. who was actually revealed to be Pete Rose, who ended up getting tombstone pile-drivered by Kane. Brilliantly entertaining moment, and that was just the continuation of Pete Rose getting to Kane's face. But this led us on to the match between my favourite wrestlers, Kane and Triple H. Beforehand, China had ditched Triple H to join the corporation. So this match was going to be a one-on-one match between Triple H and Kane. That match didn't go down that well, as China came in looking like she was going to be on Kane's side, only to attack him with a chair and for Triple H to do the same and pedigree him onto it. So Kane ends up defeating Triple H by DQ and reuniting China and Triple H. For the Women's Championship, we have an Indian-looking Sable, who's the current champion, defeating Mystique, the woman from X-Men, Tori, due to an interference from this gigantic Nicole Bass, who's making a debut in the WWF. There really weren't much to say about this apart from you can see how different divas are here to how they are now. Even though the European Championship match between the champion Shane McMahon and the opponent X-Pac was overbooked, I found this match really entertaining. I liked it. One of my favourite matches on this card. Before we get to the further ones, we have the Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe trying to weaken X-Pac before the match. We have the involvement of Mean Street Posses. We have Test involvement, only for Triple H to eventually cost X-Pac the match, giving Shane McMahon the win to retain his championship. So to take away from this match, Shane retains his championship, which is good because at this point we were still learning of what Shane has to offer and what his style of wrestling was. And we saw this in this match and the future matches. Shane was an entertaining wrestler to watch. It's just a shame he's not around anymore right now. Then we get to Triple H leaving D-Generation X by taking out X-Pac, only for Road Dogg and Billy Gunn to try and come to the rescue before Triple H and Test start to fight against them. But Kane had to come out, so there's so many wrestlers already involved in this overbooked match that, okay, throw Kane in to add even more to the Kane and Triple H feud storyline. Even though Triple H should have done more for Kane in their feuds together, by breaking up D-Generation X, it allowed Triple H to progress and become the King of Kings and the multiple World Heavyweight Champion. But as for you D-Generation X fans, never fear, because D-Generation X were reunited by Triple H and Shawn Michaels. And if you're not down with that, we've got 2 words for you. Suck it! I would do the eyes at the back of my head thing that The Undertaker does, but this match is not worth it. And that's the Hell in a Cell match between The Undertaker and the Big Boss Man. Whilst the feud between The Undertaker and Vince McMahon was great and got personal after The Undertaker went to the McMahon's house to kidnap Stephanie, this match was just awful. The only thing that really stood out was the finish, where we had the Brood, Gangrel, Edge and Christian, who were a part of The Undertaker's ministry, came and gave The Undertaker a chain through the Hell in a Cell to hang Big Boss Man. Oh, that didn't look good, you know. If I had to be the man to be hung, I wouldn't like it, but that's the only match that, or part of the match, sorry, that really stood out. The match itself was awful. The Hell in a Cell, I'm sure not many of you entertaining viewers, fans would mention or want to think about or class as one of the best tenders. Well, I couldn't say that with a straight face. But no, I'm glad they moved away from this quite quickly. Main event time, where The Rock was defending his WWF Championship against the challenger Stone Cold Steve Austin. The feud, the build-up, made the fans need to see this match, want to see this match, and the payoff to this WrestleMania worth it. First, we have Jim Ross coming down to call the shots of this match. Then we have the commissioner, HBK Shawn Michaels, to say that Vince McMahon will not be the referee and Corporation are banned from ringside. Very good way of making this match a one-on-one match between two of the biggest names in the company, and it was a really good match. You maybe say the later matches are better, blah blah blah, but this was the kickoff of something special for WrestleMania. And this match, yes, it had referee bumps, it had missed finishes, and then the involvement of Vince McMahon, who came to attack Stone Cold, Mankind, who came to attack Vince before Stone Cold got the win. But this match, I enjoyed it. It was a match that gave the WWF the match that needed to happen. A match that gave Stone Cold Steve Austin the WWF Championship at WrestleMania. So I'm not going to say anything bad about this. I enjoyed it. Then you have Stone Cold and Earl Hebner sharing a beer together before Vince McMahon gets a stunner. Well, that's the end of WrestleMania. I thought, even though the build to the main event was not that entertaining, apart from the odd matches here and there, some forgettable stuff that happened with a great finish. But share your thoughts on WrestleMania 15, and please, please, please join me for a future live stream where I'll be using this hat to withdraw another pay-per-view that you lovely people have randomly said to me that you'd like to see reviewed, and I'll be pulling out the hat. Sorry there'll be no rabbits. But till next time, YouTubers, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.